Welcome back, YouTube. This is Master Spence. I am back with a welcome to the U video. We just got a new commitment for the 2017 class, and before I made this video, I watched his highlights. I went to some websites, some recruiting websites, to see what they thought about him. And what I'm going to do here is run down. I got a list of things that I want to talk about. But first, before I get into that, if you haven't followed me already on Twitter, go to Master Spence I Am. That's my Twitter handle on Twitter. That's where I'm on there, not even talking about videos a lot of the time. I'm on there talking to other tweeters. I'm on there retweeting a lot of things I enjoy. So if you like a lot of things I'm talking about, go over there, and I'm sure you'll find a lot of more things that we have in common over there as well. So after that, let's get right into it. And thank you guys for watching this video and subscribing if you've subscribed. But the name of the prospect is Jonathan Ford. He's a defensive end. He's technically classified as a strong side defensive end on the 247 Sports Composite. The reason why I use that to check the recruiting stars or prowess of the recruit I'm scouting at the moment is because to me it's the best objective view of that prospect, because it takes not just ESPN, Scout, Rivals, but also 247's own thoughts on that prospect, and it makes an average out of all that, and then that's how you get the composite score. On the composite, he was, they do it by percentages or ratios. So his percentage was 89.93%, or how they do it is 0.8993. So they don't even make it into a percent, but you can obviously tell that's what they're going for on my belief. He's a high 4-star ranking for next year's class, because you guys don't remember, they do their preliminary rankings. Probably, I don't know for sure, but usually it's probably on the highlight tapes they see. And then during camps, like you know how Rival and Scout has their own camps, a lot of these websites have their own camps that a lot of these athletes go to, and that's how they get to see them in person. Also, they go to their games in person and scout them. So this is just a preliminary ranking. It could go up, it could go down. You never know. Um, but off of that ranking, he's ranked 282 in the nation, 10th at his position, which, like I said, they have him as strong side defensive end, and which is usually if you're using defensive terminology, like on Madden or NCAA, the strong side defensive end is usually the left end, or LE. So if you guys didn't know that, but they do change because the strong side of the field changes with each play. Not the right side of the offense isn't always the strong side, which is why it's the left end on defense. So he'll move over the field if he does get to play his freshman year. But I do expect, depending, I saw good things, but I also saw some bad things. But the bad things were very teachable. The good things were not teachable. So that gets my hype for this gentleman very high. And it makes me believe that with Coach K, Kuligowski, who's had Justin Smith, Alden Smith, Shane Ray, there's two other people who I'm forgetting who were drafted pretty highly. Oh my God. I'm forgetting their names right. Oh, Michael Sam, and there's one more person I'm forgetting. But Coney Ely. There we go. So those all were drafted, I think, within the first 3 rounds of the NFL draft, except for maybe Michael Sam. I think he went undrafted. But he's also 37th in the state of Florida. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but he's from Dillard, which is a pretty good high school for football. I went to West Boca, but I'm from Plantation originally, so I know Plantation plays them pretty much every year, and Dillard pretty much kicks their ass from what I hear. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my positives that I saw from this highlight tape, and then go to the negatives. The positives, there are a lot of them. First, his size and strength pop off the screen. He's literally one of the biggest, not just linemen, but players on the field. When you watch his highlight tape, you can tell he's he has the size of a D1 college athlete already. His strength, I already mentioned. One thing that I really liked, and this is coachable. I said his positives weren't coachable. I thought all of them weren't, but this one is, and that's his tackling and pursuit. Pursuit is not as coachable as tackling. Pursuit is a lot of instincts because you can't. You probably could. You can simplify if you could, but to me, it's like, okay, if you see the running back go into the strong side of the field towards the the sideline, you have to take a 25-degree angle. Like, you really think someone, a football player, or let alone a CEO of a business who's just playing football, can calculate what a 25-degree angle or a 45-degree angle would have to be so they can take the right angle at the running back? No, it goes off of instinct mostly. So that is more instinct, in my opinion, than teaching ability. His also, but tackling is pretty much all teaching. And he already shows the ability to tackle in space. Um, and another thing I saw a lot was his ability to get in the backfield and disrupt the backfield. A lot of times it was on running plays. There weren't a lot of passing plays really in the highlight tape. So in my mind, he's more of a run specialist right now, but you never know. I don't know his stats, and you never know how he'll do his senior year. Um, and the last positive I have is his motor. He never stopped playing, even once the whistle was dead, until his job was done. And I like that. That is something that the athletes in early 2000s, late 90s, and 80s, and early 90s also had when the U was relevant and winning national championships and winning Big East conference championships and all that. So I'm happy that we're starting to get back to that. And with Coach K, it gets me excited because his weaknesses pretty much are all leverage, footwork, stuff like that. So there's only three things I have for weaknesses, and I had one, two, three, 4, 5, 6 things for positive. So his three negatives were leverage, playing with leverage. His leverage after the snap was better, mostly because he really didn't move. Like he didn't stand up straight after the snap, which was good. You don't want to do that if you're a defensive lineman or offensive lineman. You don't want to get in your stance and stand straight up. No, you're gonna get beat every time, even if you're the most powerful man on the planet. So he needs to do a better job of getting lower in his stance pre-snap and explode into his opponent like right at the snap or after the snap, whatever you want to say. After the snap, like I said, he does a good job at the moment because he's not standing straight up. And people of his size, he's 6'5", 250 pounds. Sometimes they have a tendency of standing straight up because they're bigger. The bigger people have problems with that usually, not the smaller ones. So he's already doing a good job of that. He just needs to get into a better pre-stance. That way he can instead of just going forward, he can explode up into the chest of the offensive lineman and use that explosiveness to push him into the backfield. So I think that's one thing he needs to work on. The next is usually it's really I wrote it as one thing, but it's two different things, and each if he works on each one, it will help with his leverage. Like I said, the first thing he needs to work on is his hands, using his hands to set up leverage. And what I mean by that is when he's on the ground and he explodes, not straight up, straightening his back, but when he explodes into his opponent, he needs to get his hands under that chest plate and use that to move his blocker which way he needs to move him to get an angle to the ball carrier. So let's say running back's running left side or right side of the defense, and he needs to create an alley for the running back to cut inside so the linebacker can have a clean look at him. He needs to do a better job of pushing his man like this and blocking that and setting the edge. That's another word that football players use a lot. He needs to learn to use his hands and set the edge so he forces the runner to come back in. And it wasn't that I saw a big play happen like that. It was just I noticed when he was after he was getting off the ball, he wasn't really using his hands that much. He put them on them quickly, but I didn't see him keep them on, and he didn't know how to use them in my mind to the extent that you see college football even, but especially the pros. But obviously, that's why you go to college to learn that stuff. Second thing that would help with leverage and with creating leverage would be his footwork. His footwork wasn't the best, it wasn't awful, but you could tell, in my opinion, that he uses his athleticism, especially his strength and size, to overwhelm people, which is why a lot of people were raving about him. But in my opinion, he might get a redshirt year unless he can hone it his senior year. It's been done before. You never know. That's why this is not set in stone right now. He still has 12 plus months until signing day. Um, but if he could work on his footwork and his hands setting up leverage, this could be a 5-star guy, no doubt in my mind. But I hope you guys enjoyed this review, not review, but sort of film session on Jonathan Ford, who just committed to us out of Dillard. He's a high 4-star D end, strong side defensive end who plays both defensive end and defensive tackle. And I'm very excited. Let's all welcome him to the U. If you guys have Twitter, go tweet at him, tell him good job on the commitment. Tell him hope you have a good senior year. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, comment, like, dislike, hate, do whatever you guys want to do. Just thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Other than that, I am signing out.